Hey everybody, my name is Bronwyn. This is gonna be my first Flosstube video. I apologize if I'm a little bit awkward. It's been a while since I've made a video, and also I had a little bit of trouble setting up my phone to be where it is at the proper level, so I'm trying to look at my camera, but it might look like I'm looking off in the distance, and I'm really sorry about that. And also try not to say sorry too much. I'm from the South. I do not live in the South currently, but I am from the South, and I learned to apologize a lot. So a little bit about me. I currently live in northern Utah, and I love to, besides crafting, I love to spend time outside. So in the winter, I'm primarily skiing, and in the summer, I am camping and hiking and paddleboarding and all of that stuff, mountain biking too. I work seasonal positions, so in the winter, I worked at the ski resort, and next winter, I'm most likely going to do ski patrol, and if ski patrol doesn't work out, then I'll probably do ski instructing or something like that. And in the summer, this summer I got my EMT certificate so that I could do ski patrol in the winter, and pretty soon here I'm going to be getting some sort of job that uses that certificate, whether it's on an ambulance or probably in the ER or something along those lines. So yeah, I have two dogs, an older German Shepherd mix named Cleo and a 7-year-old hound German Shepherd mix. And her name is Layla, and she does howl sometimes, so sometimes we're funny and call her the German Howler. And then we have two cats, one of which is right here. This one is Astrid. She's just a standard brown tabby, but she has a lot of personality. And then our other cat, his name is Baymax, and he's about 4 years old, and he is a Norwegian forest cat, and he's like 20 pounds, super fluffy, and he's basically a dog in a cat's body. So honestly, this is going to be a pretty short video, so I'm going to talk a little bit about my history with cross stitch. So yeah, pretty short video, and because I just recently picked cross stitch back up a few weeks ago. So I don't have any finishes yet. And so I started cross stitch about a year ago. I was on a trip to Arizona with some friends, and one of them brought cross stitching there. She was working on a really cute cat pattern from Stitchrovia, I think it was, and so she was working on that, and it inspired me to pick up some supplies, and I started working on something I'm not going to show you because I've UFO'd the project. I was just so frustrated, and honestly, I'm not really into that pattern anymore anyways. And I just made some big counting errors, and so then I put it away for a while, and I started diamond painting instead. So I've been doing that a lot recently, and then diamond painting is sort of similar to cross stitch, as in like the patterns are pretty similar. Just instead of every stitch you put on a little, they call them drills, so little resin or acrylic gemstones basically. So I actually have one of the ones that I'm working on right now, and so these are drills, these little bits and bobs. And I'll just show you this. So And then I got into cross stitch conversions, but instead of deciding to, I was going to do a cross stitch conversion. So getting a blank diamond painting canvas and then starting to follow like a HAED pattern, Heaven and Earth Designs pattern, or something along those lines with the drills. But instead, I decided to start cross-stitching a Heaven and Earth pattern instead. So yes, my foray back into cross-stitch started with a Heaven and Earth Designs pattern, and I just realized, I'll be right back. I forgot my iPad and I want to show you some things. Okay, I'm back. So that's pretty much my intro. As far as other crafts besides cross stitch go, I diamond paint. I also very occasionally sew and knit and crochet. And then some other random things here and there. And like sometimes I'll show those things on this channel. So I guess I'll start talking about WIPs. So I'll go from my oldest to my newest. So I forgot about this one though, actually. So I have a box over here that I put all this stuff to bring out here into. So the first thing I'm going to show you is not the first pattern I started. I didn't start this into my initial foray into cross stitch last year. I kind of did half of this one pattern and then quit until a couple months ago. So, but this I got at the same time. So firstly, so here's a picture of the pattern. So it's just two otters holding hands. So as far as plans go with this, I'm going to show you. So I'm doing this in a regular hoop. I'm doing this on 14 count Aida, and it's kind of hard to tell, but it is very light blue. So I have one of the otters done, and I just have to do the second otter. And instead of doing these water lilies, I am going to just stitch a phrase, probably just in black, and then put a couple of hearts on there. So some sort of love quote, so something like "Otterly in love," or just some pun with the word otter in it about love. There's several of them around the internet, so I'm not exactly sure which one I'll pick yet. So this has been a fun, pretty quick stitch. Nothing too complicated, a pretty good first pattern, obviously, and it's small, it's nothing unmanageable. Yeah, here's the pattern one more time, or the picture, not the pattern. And this is designed by Rachel Faith. I got this from Etsy. And there's plenty of very similar otter patterns floating around as well. And this is 64 by 66. And this is on a 6-inch hoop. And this is the last hoop project I'll do, because I have since gotten Q snaps and I much prefer those. Well, I shouldn't say it's going to be the last hoop project I do, because for small ones like this, it's fine. But I need to get a couple of smaller Q snaps, I think, first. So little otters. This is just called, the pattern is called the otters. All right, so next I'm going to show you the first Heaven and Earth pattern that I started. So let me pull up the pattern. This is All Things Bright and Beautiful, the full size, regular size, not the mini. I should have started with the mini probably, I don't know. But by Jody, Bergasma. And by the end of this pattern, I'm going to be so done with blue. But it's very beautiful. What appealed to me with this is just the art style, but also polar. I had a yellow lab growing up, and she was our polar bear. That was just kind of like our nickname for her. So the polar bears really caught my attention with this, and also just the other animals. There's like a snow owl and a lynx and a wolf and a bunny and a seal. So I really also like winter. Obviously, I love skiing. So this one really caught my attention. And I have done 1,785 stitches. I have 211,415 stitches to go. I am 0.8% done. I am stitching this on 18 count Aida. Because I was too impatient to get the gridded even weave, which I do kind of regret. But so this is what I've got done. I am on my current page that I'm working on. I am at 22.8% of the way done. I have 6,000 stitches left on the first page. I have kind of marked a grid, but I have to go and continue to mark the rest of the grid. And now I have a actual water soluble pencil for this to mark the grid. So this is going pretty well. And I'm actually, it is a lot of blue, but I'm really enjoying stitching this. Actually, it's this way. The confetti is not too bad, actually. And as far as HAEDs go, I think I picked a fairly good one to start with, because it's only 50 colors, which for a regular size HAED is on the low end, definitely. And 200,000 stitches, I think, is a pretty good size. So it's not going to be like absolutely huge. Though since it is on 18 count Aida, it will be kind of big. But not too bad. And I didn't think to like check the number of stitches before I actually started, like bought the pattern and I started it, because there's some like regular size ones even that are like 300,000 stitches. This is already going to take me a long time to begin with. I am trying to and so my goals with this I'll discuss later in the plans. Okay, then the next stitch I'm going to show is the second Heaven and Earth I started. I was smart with this one and ordered even weave, though I did get 28 count because the 25 count was out of stock. So I'm doing this 1/110 stitch. And this one is also a regular size, but it's quite small for a regular size Heaven and Earth designs. I started this one on the bottom left corner because I wanted to get the black out of the way. And this picture is called North American Wildlife by, who is it by? Raldo Rio. And so I haven't done very much on this at all. This is the chart. And I just love this because I live in Utah. I like to go camping. And so I like the art style of this. And I also like that it has the canyon, the red rocks. And then there's a bunch of different animals that are especially found in the mountains. So there's a bald eagle, a bighorn sheep, a ram. But I especially love the turtle and the otter down here. There's a moose. Yeah, so this one, well, the confetti on this also should not be too terrible. Like the sky and down here should go pretty quickly, especially since I'm going to do 10 stitch. And so on this one, I have only done 184 stitches and I'm 0.2% of the way done. But this one has 100,000 less stitches than the other one. The other one is, 220,000 stitches, and this one is 122,000. So I've literally only done that little tiny blip of black. So yeah. And the other one is my priority over this one, but it'll be fun to have two full coverages to kind of shift between. And at the time, I am not intending on starting any more HAEDs, but you never know, but probably not. Not full-size ones anyways. All right, so there's my two full coverages that I'm working on, as well as one small. So I only have 2 more WIPs to show you right now, but I do have plans. So this next WIP, this series is very popular on Flosstube. It is the Year in the Woods by Cottage Garden Samplings, and I am working on the bear. This is the first one that I'm going to do, and I say that I would love to do all of these because I do. I love these, and I love woodland animals and like forest things. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to get to all of them though, but the summer and the fall ones are my priority. So after this one, I will probably do one of the other summer or fall ones. I haven't decided yet which one, but so I am not using the Weeks dye works. I am using the DMC conversion that is listed on the back, and I also really like that this is only 8 colors, and it's 100 by 130 stitches, so it's not a large project, not tiny. Honestly, this is a really good size project for me, and the size of fabric that it's on is very manageable. So I am doing this on this is a fiber on the whim, but I cannot remember what color this is. If you give me 1 second, I can probably look it up. I ordered it from 123 Stitch. So the called for fabric is 40 count Valor linen by Picture This Plus. This is a 32 count. I do know that. And so far I have most of the left or the right side of the pattern done, sorry. And I did kind of, for some reason, I started on the middle of this fabric. I'm not sure why. This is one of those where I kind of wish I had a smaller Q-snap. It's an 11 by 11, but for some of these smaller projects, I do wish it was a little bit smaller. So I have 2 of the cattails done, and then I have the right outline side of the bear done. Thanks for bearing with me. Okay. This is okay. It is the so it's not the 40 count Valor linen. It is 32 count Valor Belfast linen fabric, dyed by Picture This Plus, and it does not say which color specifically it is, but it is sorry, a just a light like green gray, and it's a very pretty color, and I know I'll have a bit left on each side to do like a couple of smalls with or something like that, so that will be really nice. So that is my bear. And I have one more WIP to show you. And that is, I am working on, I don't think I'm going to do all these space symbols, but I did get space stamps. So this is the whole chart, all of the space stamps. There's 20 of them. But I am specifically starting on this one. I did not follow the DMC numbers that it gave. I honestly just looked at this picture and I picked and rifled through and picked the DMC colors that I thought looked pretty close. So I am doing this on some leftover 14 count Aida that I have. It's a very stiff Aida and it is a little bit dirty, but I'm going to wash it. So this is what I have in my Q-snap right now, and I apologize, it's really dirty. This is ice cream, I think, but anyways, so this is what I've got done. I've got the right side background done, and I have about half of the space shuttle done. It's very hard to see the white in here, and then I have some of the sun area done as well. And so with that, what Etsy shop is this from? I'll link the Etsy shop down in the notes so that I don't spend time telling you what Etsy shop this is from. But I bought the entire store pack, so there's a bunch of little cute things. I particularly like the Christmas skeletons. And the Christmas dinos. So I just got all these because I also just like to have little projects in between the big projects. So that's what I've been working on. And now with that, I will get into plans and I'll kind of just work my way backwards. So my plans for the rest of June, I want to get this done probably by, so this is Thursday, June 15th, and I would like to get this done by the end of the weekend, so Sunday. And I definitely think that's very manageable because this pattern is, it's only like 35 by 35, so it's a pretty small pattern. So I definitely think that will be very manageable. My goals with the bear. So I have done this side, and I would like to, I think I'm kind of saving his face. So I would just like to finish the last little bit of green that I have here, and then work a little bit more on this over here, and then maybe fill in his like bottom and abdomen a little bit more. So I think I would like to be by the end of June, probably about a third of the way done for this, so I can have this finished by, I think, probably the end of July. Will be very reasonable. And then as far as my heaven and earth designs go, by the end of June, I just want, a couple hundred more stitches on each of them. And I would love to be done with the first page of the All Things Bright and Beautiful by Jody Bergasma by the end of July, but that is another 5,000 stitches, so I'm not sure if that will happen, but I would like to at least be 65 to 70% of the way done with the first page by the end of July. So, and then on the other Heaven and Earth Designs. I just want to maybe hit the 1% mark by the end of July. As far as other plans go, I do have some other projects in the works. So I'll kind of go over those in the haul section, which these are not all recent purchases. They're just also projects that I am about to start and I haven't gotten around to it yet. So my first project that is, I think, the next project in the pipeline is Jurassic Park by Silver Creek Samplers. I could not get over this. It's just so cute. I love dinosaurs, honestly, in Jurassic Park. I love outdoor things, so I love the little landscape back there, and I love coffee. And this pattern is only 90 by 66, so on, you know, a 32 count over 2, it'll only be like 6 by 4. So a really nice size, very manageable. And I can definitely have this done by the end of the summer as well. And I was gonna do that one, I think, on... What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do... So I got a couple of pieces of white 32 count Laguna to try and dye myself from 123 Stitch. Just the small size, I think is like 9 by 12 or something, because it's only a couple bucks. And I am going to tea dye that fabric and use it for this pattern. And I'm just gonna do, yeah, it's DMC, so there's that. My other future plans in the somewhat near future are, I try to be organized, but I feel like ADHD, so that doesn't always happen. So my other plans for the summer are, I have a few other things I want to start. So the first thing is, I have this Fiber on a Whim 18 count. It is 18 count Ada. I do wish it was like Laguna or linen, but it's all right. So it is a fat quarter, 18 by 28, in the night sky color. I actually got 2 pieces of this because I just love it so much. And I have, you know, projects for both of these pieces lined up. So this is what it looks like. You know, it's just like a dark charcoal gray, and it really looks like the lunar landscape. But so on this first piece of this, I am going to do, Climbing Goat Designs has a lot of space themed patterns. And so the first one that I'm going to do is the Wonders of the Hubble Telescope Stitch Along, and it's on part 5. And I think a new part gets released about every month. So there's 4 parts remaining. So this is going to be, you know, until the end of the year project. So basically just by the end of July, I think I just want to have, like, you know, one of these done, 1 or 2 of these squares done. And I just want to, this long-term plan, but be caught up with the rest of the squares by the time that the last square is released. So that is a mystery stitch along. So that's really exciting. And I'm going to be using this Fiber on a Whim and just DMC for that. And I have 2 pieces of this fabric. And then I'm just going to quickly go over, the haul that I recently got very quickly. Because I guess this video is almost 30 minutes already somehow. So I got 3 patterns. This is just Happy Camper by the Blue Flower. This has been very popular recently. It's a new release. And like I said, I love camping. So I immediately fell in love with this chart. I just actually love the border with the flowers and the moose and the bighorn sheep over there. There's like the moon and the Big Dipper. And I can't get over the beaver making s'mores with the porcupine. It's just so cute. And actually, I'm not going to do this tart 100%. I'm actually going to remove this big building here that kind of looks like a rest area. I'm actually going to remove that, and I am going to most likely replace it with, so this is from the Tiny Modernist. I'm just going to replace it with this little section with the trees and the tent and the trees and the tent and the campfire right there. So I'm probably going to replace that with this, but of course I have to make sure that the colors work and that the size is going to be right. But that is just Adventure Awaits by Tiny Modernist. But if I don't end up replacing that, I'll definitely still do the Adventure Awaits fairly soon. I don't know about this summer, maybe next summer, but because I'm trying not to do what other people do on StitchTube and have like 50 WIPs, but it'll probably happen. And honestly, I'm mostly gonna do this in DMC, but I did get a few of the fancy flosses. Next, I got Oceanarium by the Primitive Hare. They have a few other mermaid patterns, and I was going back and forth, but I really liked this one because of the whale and the jellyfish. And I did get the bead pack, though next time if I get one of these, I'm honestly just gonna go get my own beads from the craft store, because it was kind of expensive for what you get. Then we have, I guess this was out of print for a while, but it's back now. And some other stitch tubers or floss tubers are doing a stitch along. So I am going to do a secret stitch along. I'm not like gonna officially join. But this is just A Way We Ride by Blackbird Designs. And it's just like the perfect, Halloween pattern. I just love it so much. And for this, I'm mostly gonna do it in DMC, but I did also get a few of the fancy flosses for this. Same with this. I got a couple of the fancy flosses, the more prominent colors that are being used, but the smaller sections I'm just going to do in DMC because frankly, I don't want to spend the money on something that costs like 3-4 times as much as DMC for one little section, and you can't really tell if it's variegated or what. So I'm just going to quickly get through the rest of this order from 1, 2, 3 stitch. So I'm not like completely boring you guys. And these, like I said, these aren't frivolous. This isn't a frivolous purchase. These are all mostly in with the project that I showed you in mind. But first I did get a couple of fun things. I got a couple of different needles to try. I got some ballpoint needles, size 28, because I've heard good things about these, but it is a love it or hate it thing, so we'll see if I like it. Needles are pretty cheap, so. And then these, I don't know if I'll actually like them, but they have the eye in the middle, so the thing is you don't have to turn around the needle. And these are twin pointed quick stitch needles from John James, and I'm not really sure what size they are because it doesn't say. Oh, size 28. So yeah, you use it with 18 count Ada and 36 to 55 count even weave. But so we'll see how these work. Again, those were, only a couple bucks, so if I don't like them, it's not a big deal. There's my bead pack for the Oceanarium. And then I'll show you the fancy flosses that I did decide to end up getting. And again, these are the ones that had bigger sections in the patterns that I chose. So firstly, there's the Gentle Art Simply Shaker in Woodrose. 2 skeins of onyx. I got a pumpkin pie. And I'm pretty sure these 3 are for Away We Ride, and then this one is for the campers. mulberry. I got 2 Classic Colorworks blue corn. Man, I love that color. 2 Classic Colorworks double bay. And Stormy Night. This one's my favorite because of the variegation in there. And then an heirloom gold from Simply Shaker Gentle Art Studios. And then, like I said, I got a couple of small pieces of Laguna. 32 count, 16th yard, 9x13 to dye myself. I got a 8x12 piece of 32 count Laguna Murky. This one I am going to do Oceanarium on. I think I calculated that it should be the right size, so hopefully. And then I got a piece of 9x13, 32 count Laguna and taupe. This one I am, I was trying to decide if I was going to use this for the Jurassic Perk or do the tea dye. I'm going to try tea dye and see how it turns out. If not, I'll just use this. And then I got a quarter yard 18x27 40 count mallow linen. And this one is for the Happy Campers project. So it's just like, a very basic oatmeal color. And then the last piece of fabric I got is 30 count pecan shortbread linen and 17x18. And this is for Away We Ride. Very basic. And then I just got, some of these DMC bobbins. And so actually, instead of bobbinating, I use these to make floss drops. So I just do it like horizontally actually, because they're really cheap. Like these are like $1.20 or something on 1-2-3 Stitch. So yeah, I just do it like this. And then yes, I'm using a Ziploc bag. I do have some mesh bags on the way for project bags, but yeah. All right. So that is my WIPs, my plans, and a small haul, and all of these fabrics, and patterns, they're going to get started soon. A couple of other things. There's also a stitch along going for the Love Boat sampler, and I might start that too. This is the picture of it, the Love Boat sampler. I don't think I would do it on pink fabric. I might maybe do it on light blue or something like that, but not sure yet. But that is by Amanda May. Oh. Ardith Designs. Yeah, so the Love Boat sampler. And then another maybe was going to be yes, this Tuxie and Watermelon Heaven with Stitch with Coffee. This is very cute. This is the other one that I might start relatively soon, and of course plans might change. And that one would be awesome to get done by the end of summer. I do want to keep my WIPs to under 10 and finishing, 1 or 2 things a month. So I am going to leave you guys here. And I will be back probably in about, I don't know, probably a couple of weeks to show you guys progress. If I did it every week, I don't think I'd have enough progress to show you guys. But yeah, so I'll be back probably in a couple weeks. to show you guys my progress, hopefully have a finish or two. By then, I would love to get the otters and the little space stamp done. And so I'll see you guys then.